Hey guys, today we're checking out the new cook system by Solo Stove featuring the new cast iron grill. That's next. Welcome to Backcountry Renegade. I'm Jeff. This channel is all about hiking, backpacking, and overlanding, and all the gear in between. If you're into those things too, consider subscribing. Today we're looking at the Solo Stove cook system featuring the Solo Stove Bonfire with the addition of a stand and a cast iron grill. This makes your Bonfire into an amazing cook system that you can use at the campfire while you are overlanding. If you already have a Solo Stove fire pit, this is a great addition to add on. Solo Stove fire pits come in 3 different sizes: the Ranger, the Bonfire like you see here, and the Yukon. If you're looking for something for overlanding that's portable and lightweight but yet efficient, I recommend the Bonfire, which I went with here. If you want to see a comparison on why I chose that, you can click the link here to view that. You know, having the Solo Stove Bonfire, I've really enjoyed it taking on various trips. I've enjoyed being able to sit around the fire, being able to feel the warmth, being able to not have to worry about the smoke and all that. Also being able to roast marshmallows, and on occasion, if we wanted to cook, we'd actually pull out one of these roasters here and be able to roast some hot dogs and things like that. But that was the extent of the cooking. So I was really hoping that I would be able to figure out some ways to cook on top of this unit. Now, I did notice a lot of people were actually building their own custom grill kind of things, but a lot of people can't do that themselves. And so I was hoping Solo Stove would come out with something. And so they did with the Solo Stove cook system. It integrates into the Solo Stove fire pit. In this case, the Bonfire. It has this stand or hub that you have here that raises up the cooking surface as well as lets you put in wood as you go. You also have a cast iron griddle that rests on top, creating the ultimate wood fire grill. Let's check it out in a bit more detail. Basically, Solo Stove created the same concept that they utilize in their backpacking stoves. And in so doing, you have a stand that raises the surface that you can put a pot or pan on top of. Well, they took that concept and brought it into their portable fire pits, which was genius. You're able to now have a grill on top. If you currently do not have a Solo Stove fire pit and looking to get into it, you can also get it as a cooking bundle, which comes along with the stand and the grill. The Bonfire cooking bundle in particular normally sells for $739. It's on sale every now and then, and I found it for as low as $509. So pretty good deals if you're able to check back for sales. Typically, if you get it in a bundle, it will be cheaper. If you already have the Bonfire Solo Stove and you're looking at just getting the cooking accessories, so you can have the cast iron grill. The cast iron grill with the stand sells for typically $319, but is on sale for $179. When you get the Bonfire grill accessories that come with the hub and the grill, it stands on top of the Bonfire 9.5 inches, and the grill is 17.5 inches wide. The grill is made out of cast iron and 304 stainless steel and weighs about 20 pounds. To clean it, you can typically use either water or you can use Barkeeper's Friend when it cools down and then rinse it off. It is always good to season it before and after use, and that way it keeps it nice and non-stick as well. Taking off the griddle, you do have that. It's cast iron, so we'll talk about that in a bit more. But you also have this really nice stand here. It's made of stainless steel, very strong. It's one solid unit as well. Everything else is already what you have in your Solo Stove. You have your fire lid here, and what you want to do is you put that on first, and then you put the hub or stand on top of that, and so it just rests on top. From there, you have your cast iron griddle here. And the cool thing is you have handles here, but then you also have feet here that you see here. And the feet go on the outside of the hub. And so it keeps it nice in place like this. And so that way, if you happen to hit it while you're grilling or you move the meat, it's not going to fall off or slide off or anything like that. It keeps it nice on top. Another thing I do like about this system is it's very portable. So taking off the griddle, you can see how when you flip over the fire pit here, you can go ahead and put on the hub this way, and then you put on the fire ring, and it nests into each other. So you can go ahead and put it in. Now, the griddle obviously won't nest in there, but as you cure it, you can put it on top and do that. Now, hopefully Solo Stove will come out with a case for this where they can continue to have it portable as well. So let's go ahead and set it up, get our fire going, and cook some meat. So lighting the fire and cooking it is the exact same way that you'll use your Solo Stove Bonfire. But what you want to do is let the fire settle down to its embers and then add the griddle, let it warm up, and then you can cook your meat on it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so typically what I like to do is start with a fire starter before I get to the embers. So here we go. We have that. And then I like to use some kindling. And I'll put the kindling around that, and we'll get that nice and going before we add the bigger pieces of wood. Now that the kindling is starting to catch, we'll go ahead and add some bigger pieces here. All right, so we have the fire going here. It's going nicely. All the wood has caught, and the cool thing is it's nice and warm from where I'm standing here, but the main heat's going straight up, so that's going to be great for when we do get this grill on top. It's going to go ahead and cook everything nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to let it go down to its embers, then we're going to go ahead and place the grill on top, let it warm up, then cook some meat. Solo Stove says that with this stand, it's safe to keep this on the deck, and it's not going to scorch anything as well. So we're going to put that to the test as well. I do have a fire extinguisher just in case, but looks like it's working so far. It's nice and cool down here underneath, so I have no worries about that. Now it's just keeping the fire in there and watching it burn and go down to its embers and put on the grill. Another thing that you want to be aware of is with the Solo Stove Bonfire, when you're cooking, you don't want it to be a roaring fire. You want it to go down to its embers. So right now we do have a little bit of secondary burn going on, and that's where it creates kind of like almost that smokeless kind of thing. It's not completely smokeless, but it reduces it quite a bit. Now I do have a little bit of wet wood in there, so that is playing a role as well with a little bit of smoke, but that'll burn off here pretty quickly. It'll get down to its embers, and once the fire cools down a little bit, we'll go ahead and add the grill on there. The one thing I love about this Solo Stove is it is one of the coolest flames to look at. So even as you're waiting to just get the grill going and get that on as the fire goes down, it's a very enjoyable flame to watch. All right, so the fire has settled a bit down. It's going down to its embers here. Still a little bit of a flame going, but we're gonna go ahead and put on the grill, let it warm up and season it a little bit, then add the meat. All right, now this grill does come pre-seasoned. As it is cast iron, it does come pre-seasoned, but anytime I cook, I do like to re-season it with my own oil. So right now I have some oil here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on a little bit as the pan heats up. And the cool thing too is once you're done, just chunk it in the fire. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add the meat now and watch it cook. So I got some steak and some pork here. You're gonna see how that does here. All right, seems to be cooking pretty nicely. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Oh yeah. Another cool thing with this is because of these holes here, you can go ahead and just add fuel to the fire that way as well. So Makes it really nice if you want to get the heat and maintain it a bit more. And just add more fuel by sticking it on the sides, and go ahead and allow that to keep burning at a nice temperature. One thing too, also I'd recommend, if you are going to be grilling or using this portable fire pit on a wood deck like I am here, you will want to make sure that you go ahead and just watch for the little embers that might pop out. So while it does maintain it here at the bottom very nicely, it's nice and cool, it's not going to scorch the bottom, just watch out for those little sparks that might pop out every now and then, especially if you have a little bit of damp wood. So right now what you see is you do see some smoke, but that is actually the smoke that's coming from the food and the oil that I just put on it. So it's not coming from the wood that's actually burning. Even though I'm maintaining it at a low fire, there is a little bit of smoke, but the majority of the smoke that you do see right now is actually coming from the food steaming right now, which is pretty cool. You can even just hear it sizzling. Let's give it another turn over here. Oh yeah. The cool thing about this kind of setup is that the stand or the hub actually raises up the grilling surface higher than right on the bottom. So if you just put like a grill grate on the bottom, then the temperature of these flames will really scorch and burn these pretty quick. But at this point, it creates a nice kind of level that you can really cook at a reasonable temperature. And if you need it a little bit higher or hotter temperature, just put a little bit more wood in and the flames will rise a little higher. So one cool thing that I really like about that. And it's wide enough that you can really stick in bigger pieces of wood as well in this. So pretty cool. Now, I like my steak about medium, so we're going to go ahead and just cut in and see what it looks like here. A little bit more on that. Let's check out the pork here. Pork could use a little more, so we'll let it sit there a little bit. The nice thing about these is this grill on the top here actually has these little holes. Now, one of the questions might be, well, what happens to all the grease? What goes on with that? Well, if you can actually see, there's actually these grooves here, and you can see as the fat melts from this pork, it's actually draining in these grooves. Now, about 2/3 of the actual grease will get caught in these grooves and allow it to be scraped off and cleaned later. However, any grease that does fall through, it doesn't do damage to the solo stove unit. It actually is going to hit the fire and burn pretty quickly. And so that's pretty neat. It's safe to grill. You don't have to worry about the grease at all. All right, so let's go ahead and give it another flip here. Oh yeah, that pork chop looks really good. Check out this steak here. Let's turn that. All right, that's probably a little charred there. That's all right. All right, so we're just about done here with the meat, and it's looking pretty good. I really enjoy how this is cooking. Not too fast, not too slow, just right. And if I needed a little bit more fuel, I just add a little bit more wood in there, but I think we're good. We're on its embers, it's cooking, we're doing well. And so hopefully we can get this done before it starts pouring. Just little drops here and there, and that's all right. All right, let's go ahead and cut in it. Let's see what it looks like now. All right, a little bit more on that steak there. This one's about ready. That's looking good. That's about medium. And I think this pork is done. That pork looks good. It's a little bit thinner, so that cooked well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this pork off here. We're just gonna let the steak cook a tad more. This one needs a little bit more. This one's about good. All right, I think this steak is done. Now the cool thing too is, let's say you need a little less heat, you can always move your meat to the edge over here. It's gonna be a lot warmer in the middle. It's a lot cooler on the outside, so that plays a role as well. So if you just want to kind of keep things warm or let it cook a little slower, put in the outside. If you want to cook it fast, put it in the middle. Oh yeah, I think we're done here too. Dinner is served. Let's go ahead and cut in and see how it is. Medium, looks pretty good. Oh yeah. That's amazing. Amazing. Let's try some of this pork now. That's amazing. What a meal. What a meal. So concluding thoughts. Overall, this is a win-win for me. And it's because the pros outweigh the cons. The pros being you have a stand now and a grill into your solo stove here. So you don't have to have an extra thing to cook or anything like that. It's affordable. It's not the crazy priced or anything like that. And it's easy to clean and set up, and it's compactable. So lots of pros. Now, a couple cons is cast iron is a bit heavy, so that is something to keep in mind. It is a bit heavy, and there is no case currently for the cast iron grill. All right, looks like it's drizzling a little bit more here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this, go inside, and I'm gonna chow down on that. But anyways, what did you think of the new Solo Stove cook system? Is this something you're gonna add to your overlanding or camping situation? If so, leave me a comment in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts. If you like what you saw, also make sure to give me a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.